Hello everyone, it's Alexis with Create Your Future, and I'm back today with another video. Today it's solo me, and I'll be going over a client success story and some really key pointers about how this client used her mental diet and everyone as you pushed out to get her SP to call her babe in less than 24 hours since our session. So it was a really cool turnaround after I worked with her. And then also, I've been getting asked a lot of questions about how to communicate with your SP in the 3D reality. So I'm going to go over that, how to be specific about what you want and to really stick to that to get what you want in your 3D reality. All right, you guys, so before I get started, like I always say, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. In the box below, please hit the bell icon and you get notified every time we post new videos, which is daily. All right, so just a couple key pointers about this client. Now, this client and her SP, they were also a success story part 1, which was called Manifest Your SP in 48 Hours. So this client is like a master manifester, in my opinion, at this point. But the cool thing about this is that as she's a success, she's still booking sessions and she's still realizing that she has blocks because she's just encountering things along the way, which I want to be really clear that if you're watching our videos, we talk about instant manifestation. We talk about things happening in 48 hours. We talk about things happening in 24 hours, but there's always time before that happens. So please don't be discouraged or think that everyone's getting this super quick like Cinderella, and you're not, because you can be the person that gets it this time in 24 hours or 48 hours, okay? There's just a couple key pointers here. This client and her SP, there's a distance. So they're in different countries. So it proves that, manifestation knows no bounds. Our thoughts create. Everyone's you pushed out, and your thoughts do go through time. Your thoughts do go through countries. So it doesn't matter where your SP is. You can manifest for them. Long distance relationship, distance that's been for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I've seen success rates in all different instances. So just pointing that out, that if you're out there and your SP is away from you, then there's so much hope here and you can do this too. So there's a distance between she and her SP. So they're in different countries and there's a lot of a backstory. So very funny. So I told this client the last time that we had a session, I said, I spend so much time just saying this to you. Don't think that, don't think that, don't think that. And we both laughed. And I don't really do that with all clients, but this client is super open to it because she's specific about what she wants. She wants guidance to get there, and then we got her there. So I just thought I would read her success story. Actually, I pulled it up because it's super sweet and it's short and it's cute. So she writes, "Hi, oh my God, please forward this to Alexis. I literally had a session with her in less than 24 hours ago, and I decided to forgive my SP. We talked about that, about the communication piece, and wrote a B-Day text to him from my heart. And he called me babe for the first time ever after talking for 1 entire year." So it's huge, you guys. Who doesn't want to be called babe? It's the cutest thing ever. It's just get all gushy. I told him I hope he has an amazing year. And then he said, hopefully with more of me in it. He was being cocky, but Alexis will understand. Yeah, I get it, girl. Him and I spoke today again, and I told him to have a good day at work, and he said, thanks, babe, again, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. She gave me intentions on calling me a babe and being lovey-dovey. Please forward this to her, and also the attached screenshot. I want her to see it. Alexis is the best. All right, so I'm actually going to read a little bit of their communication. I'm going to hide what was actually said, but I'm going to read a little bit of it because it's really important. So this client wanted her SP to call her babe. He called her babe within 24 hours, but the major thing that she worked on was forgiving him. So being on the energy of forgiveness, which just comes from thoughts of I forgive, his name or her name. I'm allowing myself to forgive, his name or her name. So in this video, I'm not going to be giving intentions at the end. They might kind of be thrown in. So I guess you could grab a pen and some paper and you could rewatch it if you want. But these are really key points. There's not actual specific intentions about this, but think about that with your specific person from the idea of everyone is you pushed out, that when you're holding on to resentment, you're holding on to anger, and you're holding on to frustration in your energy field because everything and everyone is energy. At a molecular level, here I am with props again. Amanda will love this. This pen is energy. Now, we talk about energy and it sounds kind of like woo-woo from a certain perspective, but scientifically, if you were to take a magnifying glass and look at this pen, it would be anatomic energy moving. So that's what we mean by everything is energy, because From a scientific perspective, it literally is. So when you, as an energy being, energy field, are holding on to anger, resentment, frustration, irritation, and this client, you guys, she had a lot of it. I tell you, every time she books a session, I'm saying, don't think that, can't be angry, can't be mad, can't be frustrated, can't throw a temper tantrum. So, you know, and she still gets results. So, you know, we're not thinking that anybody out here has to be perfect, but you want to be clear that if you're holding on to anger and resentment, it doesn't serve you and it doesn't serve the SP. Like, you're not getting anything done by being a bitch ass, by having anger and resentment. No, that's like an old story. There's like a version of reality with human beings that, like, when you're like super sassy, that means that you're like sticking up for yourself, holding on to the past, having resentment. Like, that's like a motivator. But you don't want that to be a motivator with your specific person, and not when you're manifesting for them to love you, because everyone's you pushed out. So you start pushing out anger, you push out resentment, you push out frustration, and then you just get more of that. So I frankly just said to her, you can't be thinking these thoughts. And like I said, I say that to this client pretty often. She can handle it, which is really nice. And, you know, so she worked on forgiving him. And I said, you got to forgive him. Like, the past has to be the past. The present is the present, and the future is the future. Your current self in the now moment doesn't even know the past and doesn't know the future, because there is no time, there is no space. Think of it like this too. Your inner God self, your inner being, your inner soul, your inner spirit, it doesn't even know that you're necessarily a human from some perspective, but we're in a human body. So you want to work with the human body continuum. So in any event, back to the success story, she forgave him and she decided, like, okay, great. So I really can't hold on to that resentment. And she asked me, really? Like, I can't? And I said, no, you can't. Because from the perspective of everyone, as you push out and you push out your emotions, your energy field pushes out and influences everybody in your reality, then what's the point of holding on to anger and resentment? Unless you want to have a feedback loop from people in your reality of more anger and more resentment. So then she said, okay, well, fine. Okay. She's really cute. So she said, fine then. So how do I communicate with him in my 3D reality? And this, I think, is really interesting, because I get asked this from clients a lot. Like, okay, I get it. My 3D is fake news. My 3D is an old story. I created it. I can accept that. But then Alexis, like, how am I supposed to interact with him? How am I supposed to interact with her when I'm creating the reality within me, knowing that my thoughts are things and everyone is you pushed out? How do I actually talk to them when I need to? So, you know, and I guided her through what I would guide each of you who are listening to do, which is allow your communication with your specific person, and I'll explain why, to come from your heart, your inner self, and your inner being. So we have two functions as human beings. We have the mind, which is the house of our thoughts. And then we have the body, which is the house of our feelings. Now, on this channel, we all talk about mental diet and the necessity of being on the correct thoughts, because your thoughts transmit to your feelings. Your thoughts create your feelings. But think of it like this. You want to speak to your specific person from you, which is your feelings, because generally we feel things for other people, but the feelings have been blocked off by having the anger and the resentment. So what I said to her, I said, okay, so it's his birthday, and she was already creating all this irritation, resentment, frustration. I said, you can't do that. It's his birthday. So if it's his birthday, you want to first come from the place of, oh, I love this person. I'm manifesting for them. This is my SP. I want them to have a great birthday. Just like anybody else in your reality, a best friend, your mom, your dad, your child, your sister. Just think from that place within, the feeling place within, the altruistic feeling that comes from loving the person, because if you're manifesting for your SP, then you gosh darn better love them, right? That, okay, I want them from my feeling place I want them to have a good birthday. So I'm going to communicate with them from that place. So just going to get back to my messages here. So once we had established that, now she didn't write these text messages with me, obviously in session. She sat with the intentions we had talked about. She sat with the perspective. She sat with the forgiveness. And then she wrote a super cute birthday message. Hey boy, happy birthday. Hope you have an amazing year and get everything you want and more. Okay. So then she goes into just talk about a little bit of, you know, what she wants for him. But it's all really, really super sweet. And then he writes back again, you guys, he even used the word babe. Ah, Thanks, babe. Can't believe you remembered. And then he got super cheeky and he used the heart emoji, the kiss emoji, and the smile emoji. So like I said, I'm not going to go a ton into the text message because that's a little bit too much out of the confidentiality field. But you guys, what's so important here is that she forgave him in less than 24 hours. And then she was actually able to sit in her own heart, to sit in her own inner being, and then communicate to him from there. So it wasn't coming from that mental place. Like when we're saying be on top of your thoughts, be on your mental diet, it's also not allowing the thoughts of resentment, anger, irritation to override something so important like your SP's birthday. Like really try to like put yourself aside. Think about them because it's their day, or if it's something that you're celebrating with them, then really focus on them, or just start focusing on having a feeling in your body of forgiveness, of acceptance, of that unconditional love, and also developing the forgiveness, the acceptance, and the unconditional love for self, because that is a jumping off point then for you to forgive others, be there for others, and really be in that beautiful, like that lovely God or goddess place within where you're just allowing reality, you're allowing things to happen, and you're believing that you deserve the best, okay? So just to wrap things up here, this client used everyone as you pushed out, and by forgiving him and forgiving the situation, release the feelings of resentment and anger, then she was able to push out onto him, and he had a whole new response, and he called her babe. So super cute. I'd also encourage you to think about, what do you want your SP to call you? Because that's why I'm not going to include intentions in this video, because I want you to think about, what do I really want my SP to call me? Because not all of us want to be called babe. Like you might want to be called princess, princessa, baby, babe, sweetie, sweetheart. Like, you know, really try to listen to our success stories, but apply them to you and be a free thinker for yourself. So you're creating your own intentions, right? So yeah, really key, really fun stuff in this video. If you have your SP, which is at a distance, or you guys have like some space and time where you're not together, doesn't matter, you guys. Doesn't matter if one person's in India, one person's in America, one person's in America, one person's in France. Like, again, your inner self, your God or goddess self doesn't know time and space. All it knows is that your thoughts create, that you influence everyone, and everything. And that's how everyone is you pushed out works. Your inner self, your inner being that's created by your thoughts and the feelings that you're holding onto influences everything and everyone around you. All right. So super cool today. I've gone over some really key topics. I hope that this has made a lot of sense and also provided clarity. If you want to get your SP to call you something super special, how everyone is you pushed out works, and then also about how to get on top of that mental diet and get to a place of forgiveness from within, because that's just super important for everything. You know, being in that awesome, beautiful state of accepting reality, being in the moment, loving yourself, like all the cells of your body and your physiology of both your unconscious and your conscious mind, just love being in that state of allowing beauty and keep going. All right. So thank you again for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And also in the box below, you can find a link for booking coaching sessions with me. And I still have my course available on how to become a master manifester, which would guide you into the foundational principles of manifesting, creating your mental diet, creating your own affirmations, changing your own internal story from there so you can manifest anything that you want. All right, you guys, well, go out there and make today awesome. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.